Hey everybody, welcome back to the Maturish Podcast. My name is Kobe, and today we're going to get deep down and dirty and talk about how we truly feel on the inside here. How to be more comfortable about yourself, how to be more comfortable in your own skin. Now, if you notice, I said we. And I didn't just say we, talking about me and you, the listener at home. I'm talking about me, you, and the person sitting here on my left.
Hi, I'm the person on Kobe's right. My name is Donovan. Today, we're going to be talking about comfiness.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Kobe,
Hi.
what does it mean to you to be comfortable in your own skin?
To me, and thank you for asking that question.
You're welcome.
To me, being comfortable in your own skin is unapologetically being you. Not letting anybody tear you down. Not let anybody misdirect you into believing that you're somebody you're not. Being comfortable in your skin is owning up to who you are and not changing for another person. That is what being comfortable in your own skin is to me. Mm-hmm. That's what it means.
Right.
To me.
That's really nice.
What about you?
To me, being comfortable in one's own skin means displaying a relaxed confidence in and clear understanding of oneself and one's abilities, especially when presenting oneself to or interacting with other people.
And that's very much the Google definition of being comfortable in your own skin.
I guess you could say that.
Now, we've come up in the age of social media. We've come up in the age of challenges and everybody trying to fit into one bubble, to one circle. Mm-hmm. You know, people would have very much they're one person in public, they're one person on the gram, but they're another person behind closed doors.
Right.
Do you mind if I ask you a question here?
No, I don't mind.
Do you, or I should say, is the person you portray in public, on social media, when you're around other people, with your family, whatever, is the person you portray to everybody, in a general sense, who you are truly, in a personal sense?
Okay. I'd like to believe so. When I am on social media or when I talk to folks in person, I tend to act an ass and make a fool of myself. And that's just what I like to do. I guess that's the best I can put it. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I realized a long time ago, okay? Mm-hmm. And once again, this goes with growing up in the age of social media. There's countless people who want to be Kardashians. There's countless people who want to be the next, Dwayne Johnson, whatever, yada, 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 and so forth. But there's only one Kobe Williams, okay? Mm-hmm. And if I'm not going to be him, then who is?
Right.
Nobody. I have a gift. Mm-hmm. And we all have a gift. And that gift is being who we are. It makes me think. Last June, this most recent June here, 3 months ago? It's crazy. June was already that long ago. Longer than that, 4 months ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. I can remember logging on to TikTok and you hear, be who you are.
For who?
For your pride. Don't hide. And those words really resonated with me. See, Queen Zizi Loke, the voice, very mediocre talent when it comes down to singing, and even more trash of an entertainer. Mediocre. No, that's exactly what I'd say. Bottom of the music food chain. Okay, she offers nothing and brings nothing to the table. Mm-hmm. Did I just send you a TikTok of her recently? Mm-mm. Okay,
that was Daniel Larson.
No, yes. It was. Okay, so there's this TikTok. I don't know if I've seen it yet. I know I meant to send it to you. So I think I liked it and I'll still send it to you. But what it was is her,
You got it.
is
What's wrong?
what it was is her, and I've sent you the TikToks before where she's at the grocery store and she has a can of chips, of Pringles, and she knocks them and hits herself in the head with them. So this TikTok, she's going to flush the toilet. There's nothing in the toilet, but she has a comb, a hair comb in her hand. She drops the comb into the toilet, and then she's like, "Oh, now I gotta get a new comb." It's so dumb. She's done one thing in life right, and that's be who you are, for your pride don't hide. Now, what I was gonna say, taking it back, is she did it as a Pride Month anthem, as in don't hide your sexuality. But I think I like to look at it as being broader. Don't hide who you are, period. What you're interested in, whether that's the kind of music you like, the form of entertainment you like, what you're attracted to. Embrace who you are. Are there going to be people who think you're weird?
Yeah.
Are there going to be people who, I don't want to be around them?
Of course.
Of course, exactly. But what you need to do is be who you are in order to then surround yourself with the people who can help you be who you were meant to be while you're being.
Wow. You said...
I'll say that again.
Okay.
You need to surround yourself with the people who are helping you be who you're meant to be while you're being.
That sure is beautiful.
Thank you.
Kobe. How often are you being who you are while you're being?
24/7. Every day of the week. Now, what I found is, do I play into the, this is the song everybody's listening to, so I'm gonna listen to it thing? I don't do that. You know, I don't keep up with what people are doing so I can appeal to other people. At the end of the day, I'm Kobe. If you don't like it, then unfollow me, unfriend me, whatever. And don't watch. But I found that me being me has given people a sense of originality. It gives people a reason to watch because I'm not doing, a TikTok dance that everybody else is doing. I'm offering something else. And that's what's just so beautiful about me. Now, I'm not saying, okay, and let me say this for the record, I'm not saying that the people who give into these TikTok trends, the people that try to conform to what everybody else is doing are bad people. That's what works for them.
Right.
That's what they feel as if they need to do in order to please other people. But I'm not in the business of pleasing people. I'm here to please myself. And I know as long as I'm pleasing myself, other people are going to be pleased. Rather that's with what I'm doing with my social media. What I do think, though, is each social media platform gets a different Kobe. I'm more restricted on some social media platforms, if that makes sense. Because Zucky, he likes to hand out them 30 days. I've not been in Facebook jail yet. But if Facebook got Kobe Wobe horrors on that platform, I'm fairly certain I would not be allowed on Facebook. I'm freer on my Instagram and with my Instagram stories, but I think 100% raw Kobe is on that private story. Everybody that's in there, you are so welcome because I know you're entertained every day.
That's great. And I'm just glad that you're out here just pleasing yourself. Because when you're out here trying to please other people,
Right.
Because, some people, that works for them.
Right.
Pleasing other people is pleasure for themselves. All I'm going to say is do what you got to do to please yourself.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, Some people are creative in other senses than what other people are. See, like me, to me, it's when I cannot draw for nothing. I cannot pick up a pencil, a pen, a marker, a oil pastel. I cannot do color, nothing. It will look horrible.
You can do colored skin, though.
I can. Hello.
All right.
But what I can do is offer forms of entertainment and conversation that other people aren't willing to do.
Right.
Not saying that they can't, but maybe they just aren't willing to do it because other people aren't doing it. Now, when I started, discussing interests and maybe starting a podcast and things like that, there were a few people who now listen to this religiously that said, why? Who else is doing that? I don't need anybody else to do it. I'm doing it for me. Okay? And, for the future, it would be nice if I'm doing this, and think of it kind of like Teddy Duncan's video diaries, right? Teddy Duncan did these video diaries for Charlie, her little sister, the baby.
Hey, Charlie.
So that when she would get to be Teddy's age, she would be able to have guidance towards what she needed guidance for. And that's what I'm doing this for. Yes, it's for my friends and colleagues and everybody else who's listening to this. But think about it for the future. Eventually you'll have kids and I'll have nieces and nephews. And they'll listen to this, and it's like, wow, Uncle was spitting facts. Oh. And he was. I am. Because it's the truth.
Right.
There's 100 million people doing a TikTok dance. There's 100 million people doing the same thing already. So be you. Offer something else that gives people a break.
That's beautiful. Now, being comfy in your skin. That's something most people struggle with.
Yes.
Is there like any point in time where you're like, I really don't want to be myself?
No.
You were uncomfortable in your own skin?
I wouldn't say so. I'm about to do it. I told you somebody slid up on my story earlier. And I told you what they said, but also what they said was, are you going to bring up dying every episode? Well, here's the time. For this episode,
all right.
It's how was Kobe's reaction to dying time? At that point, probably. But in a general sense, no. Because once again, there's already a Donovan Lowry. There's already a whoever else. There's only one Kobe Williams. So I need to be him in order to give what I know I can do onto everybody else. I'm not doing it for everybody else, though. I'm doing it for me.
All right. Let's look here. Okay.
I'm going to ask you the same question.
I'm here to talk as well.
I am. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
At what point, because I already know the answer is going to be yes. Okay. At what point or points were you uncomfortable in your own skin? Or have you felt as if you needed to conform to a certain way to be accepted or to please other people?
I'm going to talk about that second part in a little bit because I got a question about that.
Ooh, all right. Hey.
But first, as you know, yes, throughout my life, I've just been, very happy with myself.
Donnell, girl, do you hear this? Boy. Anyways.
Okay. It was a point, it was like, I don't know, I had lots of insecurities. I'm not the tallest person on earth.
Yeah.
I always didn't really have like confidence in my appearance until recently. I don't know, a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like, I always felt like I was lesser than the people around me. But it's like, up until now, it's just like, how do I explain it? I just stopped caring.
Right.
I just stopped looking at other people. I was like, I'm doing this. Most people aren't. I'm doing what I want to, what I need to.
Right.
To secure not only my future, but my own future. And, it's like, that's all you gotta do. You just gotta stop caring.
Stop caring, not in order to secure your future, but your future.
Exactly. Because it's just like...
O'Reilly. He's came out a couple times.
He just be
Everybody's just going to be listening and confused. What the hell are they saying? But it makes sense, guys.
Dude, you just gotta think,
you just got to, exactly.
You're not thinking deep enough.
Right. And see, we're at a certain level right now that you got to get here and you have to think. You probably can't listen to us and type a paper at the same time or play a game or something. You need to sit back. You need to reflect.
We are intellectuals.
We are.
You have to be on a different level of thinking.
Right.
To understand what we're really saying.
Yes, exactly. It all circles back to the very first, if anybody out there has been keeping up with Tina Tuesdays. First, let me say, somebody get in contact with Tina Jones. I don't know where she is.
This is like ever since Odetta.
Yeah, Odetta's untimely passing. She's been missing in action also. We need to find Tina. But I want to say it was maybe the third Tina Tuesday. Tina and Odetta were sitting together, and Tina was recounting going to church that last Sunday. And Pastor O'Reilly pulled Tina aside, and he said, Tina, how can you do for you if you can't do for you? Now, hearing it the first time, you might think, what?
Exactly.
But it's true. How are you able to do for yourself if you can't?
Exactly.
How are you able to live life happily if you're not?
All right.
Because you're not aiming to please yourself. You're aiming to please everybody else. Now, am I saying that you should live life 100% selfishly? No. It is also in part your responsibility to make sure your people, your friends, your family, whoever, are also secure, are also happy, but don't put others' needs before your own. They got themselves.
Right.
And at the end of the day, do you truly know who has you?
That's beautiful. Before we move on, I just wanted to say, if anybody out here has a possible way to get in contact with Tina, I'm sure she just needs some uplifting. It's been a hard time for her, seeing as her best friend has died.
Yeah, drowned in their bathroom sink.
She could have stopped it, but...
She could have, because she knew it was coming on. But let's think about it. And then, I'm not trying to get too off topic here. We'll circle around real quick.
Right.
But Odetta never really has ever done what Odetta needed to do. Odetta was always searching for validation from somebody else. When it started off, when she was really close with Otis stopped that. So, Odetta needs to go find somebody else. So she married and married and married and married, hoping to find validation from them. Janet Jackson put an end to all of that. Then she's been living off of Tina. Tina knew what she was doing. I think so.
Tina knows everything.
Showing Odetta that it's time. You're 85 years old. It's time that you wisen up and you do what you need to do. Not saying Tina wasn't there for Odetta, but Tina was definitely doing in that moment what was best for Odetta. It was sink or swim, literally.
And I think what makes it even worse is at the ripe age of 85, she was really trying to find herself.
Yeah. I mean, is it ever too late?
Right. But even then, as she was attempting, she found the help that she needed.
Right.
She was trying to make it to that next level of finding who she is.
And then that's when it's a tragic story. It really is. But that's when it's up to people like you, like me, like Ty and Malik, anybody. Even Star and Liberty, they can use this as examples. Monty, everybody.
Exactly.
They need to use this as examples of, although it's never too late, you're always on the clock. That clock is going to tick tock.
What else is it going to do, Kobe?
That clock is going to tick tock, beat bop, and then it'll stop. Shoo bop.
And then until it stops, keep going.
Exactly.
You're still here for a reason.
Right.
Just because you might be 85 or older, just because you can't do most things on your own anymore,
Exactly.
doesn't mean you got to stop.
Let's be honest, okay? Let's look at it this way. You've been in Tina and Odetta's bathroom, as have I.
Right.
It could have been either one of us that perished in that bathroom, head in that sink. It could have been Tina. Could have been anybody, realistically speaking. Did Odetta deserve what happened to Odetta? No. I can think of, and this might sound horrible, but I can think of other people who I would have rather drowned in that sink than Odetta. But like I said, we need to use this as a lesson. Odetta was finally taking time out to be who she was. But that clock
I think
is
I know
ticking.
where you're going. She finally took the time and said, hey, I'm going to do this for myself. You see what happened to her? She died.
She did.
So if you're out there...
Donovan, I'm going to ask you to stop.
Okay.
Not everybody's outcome is the same.
Okay.
It's not. What happened to poor Odetta is tragic. But rest assured, I don't think Odetta's story has ended just yet.
That's interesting.
That's just me. I think there's more to the story. There's more pieces to the puzzle that still need to be connected.
And look here, there are lots of really young folks thinking, oh, I didn't do good this year, or I haven't been doing the greatest. My life is over. Because they're working on somebody else's clock. Odetta, at the age of 85, is finally starting to figure out who she is.
Right.
You at 18, 19 years old, you still got 60 years left.
Right.
You got time.
And that's the thing. I also think that we need to stop rushing things. Like, this is a point I brought up in our I think it was the second episode of Maturish, talk about relationships. There are people who will sit here and talk to people and tell them, oh, I'm going to marry you one day. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. There's also people that at our age, getting people's names tattooed on them, getting engaged, like all these things, and we haven't even hit 20 yet.
Right.
You haven't even lived outside of your mama's house. We're trying to rush things way too fast. Childhoods don't last long. Like, look at us. We're to the point it's almost over. You know, we're in that process of it's time to wake up, you know, get up. So what we're doing is really hurting ourselves. Because the time we did have to be children, to sit in the back seat, you know, has came and gone. But we weren't there to cherish it because we were so focused on trying to live life like we were 25, like we were 30, we were 15. Not saying everybody did, but a vast majority of us, to the point that you can just group everybody together. And it was sad, but it's only going to make it harder now.
There are lots of folks, they see these young people making millions of dollars. And they're living their life based on that.
Exactly.
On them people making just so much money.
And I think that's the biggest downfall to social media. 100%. You think about it from previous generations, they know that this actor was doing really good. This actress was doing really well. Yes, because they were an actor. They were an actress. They were in the top-selling film in the theaters and releasing the best music. But with social media, we see it every day. And it's all we see is, what is this Kardashian doing today? What's Kylie Jenner doing today? Oh, well, if Kylie could do this at 20 years old, I'm 20 and I'm still sitting at home. It kind of makes you sit back and almost, not everybody's born with a golden spoon in her mouth. Not everybody's parent is Kris Jenner and Caitlyn Jenner.
Uh-oh.
I said Bruce.
That's, nope. Not quite.
So, you're not able to get the same opportunities the other people are getting. But your parents are who they are. You're giving the opportunities that you're given. So instead of trying to be the next Kylie, trying to be the next whoever, be the first you. Do what you need to do in order to make history yourself.
Right. And like, I can understand maybe they're using, oh, they did this, so maybe if I do this.
Yeah, it's motivation.
Right.
It's motivation to do things. But it's one thing to sit here and say, oh, Billy Bob did this, so I'm going to do it too. And hopefully this will get me here. It's one thing to do that, but, Billy Bob is where he's at, so this is how he did it, so I'm going to do the exact same thing, and then I'm going to be where he is. That's you just trying to be Billy Bob 2.0.
Right. Don't use Billy Bob's path. Don't follow Billy Bob's path. Don't be on his coattails.
Exactly. Yes.
Use Billy Bob's path. Make it your own.
Come on.
Because you're not Billy Bob.
Say it.
You're you.
Exactly. And this is exactly the truth. You're not the only person that's using Billy Bob or whoever as motivation, who's trying to be the next Billy Bob. So if you're trying to do what somebody else is already doing, don't you think it's going to be that much harder for you to get to your end goal, to the peak of that mountain? It's just going to be 100 times harder than what it would be if you just sat still for a minute. You said, who am I? What do I need to do for me?
And that's because, like, people do it all the time. You see it, music, sports. Kobe sampled Michael Jordan. Now he's one of the greatest ever. You can see people sample music all the time. Now they're making
and that's
hits.
And that's the thing. That's probably what irks me the most about music now. Nothing is original anymore.
I mean, it can. It can, but I mean, you can only get.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
After thousands of years of music.
I just had this conversation with my grandfather earlier today. We weren't talking about music, but it coincides with music. What song hasn't been made already? There's already been thousands of breakup songs. There's already been thousands of whatever. What can I do that Michael Jackson didn't do, that Beyonce hasn't done, that whoever hasn't done? Probably nothing.
Exactly.
There's been people who have made it do with auto-tune. There's been people who are just naturally gifted. There are people who could sing and play the piano. There are people that could get up and dance and do a whole 2-hour dance routine while they were singing. It's kind of hard for us now because it's already been done. And that's everything. There's already been track stars.
Right.
There's already been, singers and dancers and actors and actresses. People have already done everything. So are you going to be the first? No. But you can be the next. You can be the next. And it all stems from you need to believe in yourself. You need to be comfortable in your skin and do what you need to do in order to be the next.
That show is correct.
It is.
It is. Y'all should listen to us.
You should.
Because we really spit in this episode.
Yeah, it's
Let's
true.
be honest.
It's true. I'm thinking of Michael Jackson right now. As a little child, Michael... yeah. Oh! He was, as a child, would sit in front of that television and watch James Brown. And he would get up and practice and dance and do the exact same dance moves James Brown was doing. Now look, Michael Jackson did what he needed to do as a child at 6 years old, imitating James Brown, but he tweaked it.
Yep.
He made it his own, and now Michael Jackson is the greatest entertainer who has ever lived, without a question. Singer, dancer, it doesn't get better than Michael Jackson. The only problem is, and what doesn't help once again, is social media. There's blog pages. These blog pages will sit here and trending on Twitter maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, was, is Drake the Michael Jackson of our generation? Why are we saying that? There is no Michael Jackson of our generation, but there's a Drake.
Exactly.
There's a Justin Bieber. There's a Beyonce. There's a Soulja Boy. There's a Lil Nas. There's not a next Tupac. There's not a next Prince. There was a Prince, and he's where he was at.
Yep.
Michael's at where he was at. Whitney, Aretha, everybody's where they were. Wouldn't you?
Harriet.
Yep. Nobody.
Hey, Miss Tubman.
Okay. People might be able to top what Michael Jackson did. There's, I think Beyonce has broken records, and other people. I think BTS broke a Michael Jackson record. It's like, how?
Right.
It's not for me to understand. But nobody ever is going to be able to do what Harriet Tubman did. Ever. She blazed a trail that can no longer be ignited.
At all. If there is anybody you should imitate your life after, it's Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
The way she led her life just with such strength and passion, that's who you should be.
Yes.
If there's anybody you should copycat your life, Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
I'm going to just leave that there.
No, you can pick it up and take it with you.
No.
I don't need it here. Take that home.
Remember that. Keep that in your mind.
No. That didn't get a oh no out of me, but it got a no. What's next? What else do you have?
Let's see. Let's look at this. Pause.
All the single ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. Got your girl in the club.
Dude, that was my favorite part of that entire song. That is hilarious.
I don't know why. Like, why?
Got your girl.
Why the fuck was he doing that? It's just even more funny to imitate.
What is this? Coming self-aware usually doesn't happen overnight. This is cited baby steps, so forth, whatever. I don't care.
I made a Halloween music playlist today.
Really?
Yes. I mean, there's a Christmas. Of course, I have a Christmas music playlist. But I was like, I don't have a Halloween one. There's not Thanksgiving music.
We're making a Thanksgiving album.
Maybe songs about food. But there's already...
I'm eating that turkey that just can't stop.
Or maybe you could think about hot dogs.
Oh, could I? I don't think I would. Okay. So we talk about, this says work on personal issues. Ask your friends for their opinion.
Okay, start with that. Hit me up.
The issues or
yes.
friends? Okay.
Start with the issues. We'll segue into that.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that commercial. We need to record more commercials.
All right.
We only got a couple. Now.
And I have just the commercial in mind.
No, you gon' We can talk about that later. We talked about using your strengths. But now, what about your weaknesses? Everybody has them.
Wow.
We need to make that a language.
Yeah. Everybody does have weaknesses. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you think your biggest weakness in life is?
My biggest weakness. Probably I can get lazy from time to time. If I'm like, okay. If I don't know what it is. It's just like if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to. There are times where I can like push myself like, okay, I got to do this. I'm going to. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go take care of that thing I got to do. I'm going to go get my oil change, get my vaccine.
How much of that did you do today?
I did both of those things.
That's nice.
Because, like, my dad has always taught me, like, you always got to be doing something. My dad, he's very busy.
Yes.
Always doing something. Just like he told me, no empty days. Make sure you're always doing something every day.
Interesting.
So that's, I make a schedule. Well, I'm going to. That's in the future. You got to that's what I'm going to do. Make a schedule, what I need to do this day, and abide by my schedule.
Yeah. And it's nice for previous generations to offer that inspiration into us. And it helps a lot because with your dad giving you that knowledge, you don't have to maybe struggle like he might have. My dad has taught me a few lessons in life.
Oh.
The most recent and probably the biggest is if something goes against your wishes, it's putting a damper in your pocket. You better drop it.
All right.
Leave it alone. And I ain't mad at him at all. I am.
That's fine.
But one day we need to wake up. And we need to say, you know what? I'm done. I'm through. Being nice, the Mr. Nice Guy, that's over. It's time for Kobe to do what Kobe needs to do. Because that's what Dwayne did. Dwayne did what Dwayne needed to do. And it might rub people the wrong way. It might. Here's another question for you.
I'm listening.
Have you changed as a person? I know I have, and I'll be able to answer this if you can't. But have you changed as a person enough to where maybe it affected a friendship or maybe it affected a relationship where somebody realized, you're not the same person anymore? I don't want to.
No. I've just always been Donovan to the extent that I want it to be.
To the extent that you want it to. Elaborate upon that.
Yeah, this is what the question I wanted to ask before.
Okay.
So you say comfortable in your own skin. You can talk to anybody and you can be 100% you. What if there are people out there that you talk to that you're not 100% you, but it's you, but it's a different you? Is that not being comfortable in your skin?
It's
adding a filter, I guess. For different situations, different people.
Let's think filter.
Okay.
You can go on Snapchat right now and find a different filter that puts freckles on your face. There's a filter to make the picture black or white, whatever. Do you have freckles for real on your face?
I don't.
Okay. Are you black and white?
No.
So putting a filter, it's still you in that picture. Still your face, still you smiling. But it's not authentic. Are you listening to me?
I am.
Okay. It's still you. All right? You're still Donovan. It's still me being me. But using that filter, I'm masking something. And if I have to mask something, probably not as comfortable as I think I am. Or I'm not willing to accept something about myself, or I feel the need to cover something up. And that's what we tend to do. It's not as deep as a Snapchat picture or something. It gets deeper. But that's probably what it is we're putting a filter in to either hide ourselves from ourselves or to not let others truly know ourselves.
I guess, sure, that's what it is for me, because if I acted the way I acted, if I gave 100% of myself, I wouldn't have any friends.
Why do you say that?
I am, what's the word I'm looking for?
Short?
Well, I am.
Okay.
That's not the part of myself I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm very aggravating, I guess is the word I'm thinking of right now.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh, it is. It's very true.
But hear me out.
Okay.
Because I said this earlier. You said if you were truly yourself, you wouldn't have any friends.
Right.
Maybe I finished that sentence for you. If you were truly yourself, you wouldn't have any of the friends you have now.
Well, I mean, that's still not.
I need some water. Y'all aren't hearing me, okay?
That's still not having any friends.
No. There's somebody, there's people out there. It might not be me, but it's still somebody out there. Just you masking yourself. And I'm not saying you, but using you as an example. You portraying to be somebody else in order to please others, because that's what it sounded like. It's, I'm giving this version of myself so I can keep these people, so I can do this, that, and the other. As long as you're doing that, you're not doing what's best for yourself. Therefore, you're constricting yourself. I wouldn't have any friends. No, maybe that's a good thing, to not have the people that you do have, because if you're not able to be 100% authentically you, then what are you doing it for? Because there is somebody. There are people. There are somebodies. This episode is going to be uploaded a couple times because y'all need to hear this. Okay, this is episode 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I said a few things. Okay. I said a few things. And going back, and I think I've said this before, but we do a lot of things out of comfortability. I've spent 18 years in this friendship. I've had this friend since primary school. So I'm comfortable being around this friend. I don't know any other friend, like I know this person.
Right.
So we hang on to that. We hang on to it for nostalgic purposes. Instead of making new memories that could benefit us in the future, we're holding on to old ones. And we're trying to build upon those. But people grow. And people change. Like for me, the biggest thing, how COVID and the whole corona and the shutdown was a negative all across the board. It was the biggest positive for me. Because of being alone, being at home, sitting in that room 24/7, allowed me time to reflect. Are you doing what's best for you, or are you trying to please her and him and them? Are you doing what's best for you? Because I wasn't. I was, and I still do this today. And it's something that I always, after I do it, I sit back and I say, dude, chill, I get to a point where, how many times in a day do I ask you, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Countless times. You, Shania, whoever. How are you doing? How was your day today? How are you feeling? I don't hardly ever take the time to say, what about you? What about you, Kobe? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Why? Because I feel as if I don't do it for you, then who will? But if I don't do it for myself, then who will? That's what we need. Because a lot of people are like that. I'm happy if you're happy kind of thing. And it makes sense. It helps to have happy people around us. But deep down to the core, nobody can better a situation, can better your situation, unless it's you.
What did Pastor O'Reilly say?
He said, "Shubidabop."
Not that one.
Skimmity the bottom.
The one before that one.
I don't think I was in that service. What did he say?
How are you going to do for you
Thank you.
if you can't do for you?
And that's the thing. When you're so focused on others, not 100% giving you the best Kobe that there is to Kobe, because I'm focused on keeping what there is between us. When you're watering yourself down, you're not hurting them. Because if I'm being honest, I love you, but there's probably another Donovan out there. There's another friend. Friends have come and gone. I'll scroll on social media and there's a friend that is like, wow, I can remember.
Go ahead.
Say what you need to say.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Oh.
This is a safe space.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure what they got to say. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to finish.
Okay.
Scrolling on social media all the time. I take it you haven't lost many friendships, many close friendships. See, I have.
I haven't made many close friendships to have them.
And you scroll and you see this person and they're posting this on social media. And you almost kind of want to compare. This is how my life was with this person when they were my quote unquote best friends. When I was with this person every day or surrounding myself with them. And then I compare myself to where I am now. What am I doing now? How is life going for me now? You need to grow, At the moment, I probably don't think I'd be doing as good as I would be if I didn't have you here every day. It gives extra motivation. It gives extra because I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. It just looks good for the both of us. Same vice versa.
Yep.
But if something happened to me tonight that I wasn't here tomorrow, there'd be more of you to keep on going.
No.
There's a yes.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. That'd be the end of it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it would.
Because the day will come where one of us is smacked with reality.
Yep.
It's just K Productions.
Yep.
K and D. Okay? And at that moment,
Donovan Jr. is going to have to step up early.
Yes. And Kylie's kids. Whoever my power of attorney or whatever is, whoever I trust with my things, because I'm not having children. That kind of thing. But there's things that you don't want to think about. Scenarios that you don't want to think about. You don't want to think about losing this friend because you love them. You're as close to them as possible. And then you lose them.
Like Tina Nodetta.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing is, I've been in situations where I've lost this close friend, probably the closest friend I'd consider I had at that time. But I was still able to keep on pushing.
Right.
I'm still here today. You don't think in that moment that you'd be able to move on. People get out of relationships. People get out of marriages where you were so comfortable being with that one person for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I'll work it in.
Gotcha.
5 years, 10 years. 15, okay. That you're comfortable with that, right? When that ends, you probably feel lost. A sense of hopelessness. That's why we shouldn't rely so much on others for ourselves.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying, once again, I'm going to get up from here, I'm going to go inside, and I'm just going to 100% focus on Kobe. Because that's not what I need to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you need to love the people that you have. And you should not love the people that you love.
Right. Should not love the people that you love. So you should love the people that you love.
And you should not.
Not only the people around you, but you should not love loving you.
Self-love to me is the most important kind of love.
Duh.
And to everybody. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect somebody else to?
How can you do for you if you can't do
Can't do for you.
Pastor O'Reilly.
Think about it. It sounds silly and it sounds goofy, but it makes sense.
They do.
people will say that you should stop seeking validation from other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're wrong. Does it help? Yes.
Of course.
Should I 100% depend on Donovan's thumbs up? No.
Right.
But that thumbs up helps.
Mm-hmm.
It shows me that what I'm doing is right enough that somebody else is there. You go.
Mm-hmm.
Go on with your bad
I
self.
mean, it's not always gonna be a person.
Mm-mm.
There's always gonna be that validation somewhere.
Yes, it's diplomas,
Mhm.
it's
There you go.
certificates,
Yep.
it's raises, it's getting a new position. It's validation comes in various
It
forms.
may not be some words.
Right.
If you're not getting validation from something, you're doing something wrong.
That's the thing. Like, even think about it like this. People might not tell you that they love you if they're not provoked.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that they love you because their actions show that.
Right.
Would it help to hear it? Yes,
Yep.
it would. But you know at the end of the day that love is there. And that's what it is. When they say stop seeking validation from other people, yes, but don't limit it to just that.
That's why it doesn't just say stop seeking validation.
Right.
It's saying stop seeking from other people. Find it in yourself. Find it in the things that you are partaking in.
Right. Yes.
That's something you got to realize.
It is. Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm probably going to sit back and I am a big person on. I give a lot of great advice, whether that's to you, whether that's to another friend. I will sit on the phone, and I have, for 4 or 5 hours at a time with somebody. And I'm very quick to sit here and I'm able to tell you, Donovan, you're doing this wrong. I don't think I've had to with you just yet. You're okay.
I don't know why you should.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah,
I think
it's been time.
Yeah. But I'm easy to sit here and I say, you're doing this wrong. The picture you're painting of yourself isn't pretty.
Right.
And I can sit here and I can tell people how they can better themselves. But hardly ever do I sit back and look at the picture I've painted of myself. This episode, it is so funny thinking of these episode topics. Okay. We do 2 podcasts, right? One of them you mainly are quote unquote in control of, and the other one I kind of spearhead myself.
Right.
These topic ideas, I don't think of them as deep. Like a majority of the time, I'm in the shower and I'm like, ooh, being comfortable in your own skin, okay. And I'll type it down and then I just don't think about it. But you don't realize how important it is, or at least I should say how important it is until I'm sitting here across the table from you and I'm talking about it. That self-love and being comfortable in your own skin is the key to success for everybody.
And what was I about to say? Damn. My bad. Okay. Please don't wink at me. What was I gonna say though? It'll come back later. I don't even care anymore.
You got something else there.
Do I? Let's look. Pause. We making good time. We probably do this last one. We'd be good. Should we try this other one?
What is it?
Once you've done all that you can do, and you think about what others have done.
Yes, hold on.
It's not about what you
Type
did,
something
what
on
you-
there real quick so I can get to it. I have so many notes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Talk me into there. Don't say that. Let me say it, but give me a segue.
How do you segue?
Let me see. Once you've done all that you can do, and you think about what others have done, it's not about what you did or do that will or won't. Okay.
It's not about It's about the journey, basically.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, I got it. So, when you're living your life, people are always thinking about too far in the future. And they're not thinking about the way they're going to get there.
Yes. They think about the destination and not the journey.
That's like, because you got to take it step by step. You know, them inspirational pictures, it's not a straight line.
Right.
You're going to go up, back, down, left, right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to stagnate to move forward.
Exactly. And that's why it kind of sucks. Because with us being in the generation we are, everything's already been done. But look, once you've done all that you can do, and you think about what others have done, it's not really about what you did or didn't, will or won't, can or can't, but what you are doing. We're so focused on the destination, where other people have ended up, where we're going to end up, that we're not focused on what we're doing at this moment.
I think that goes back to the social media. They see people taking the fast track to the millions. Not everybody has that.
No.
To get to that CEO position, you gotta go to school.
Yeah.
To get to the pop star you want to be, sometimes you have to learn from somebody else. You gotta take the lessons.
Unless you're like me, you're just vocally talented.
Of course.
See, those people, us, as I like to refer to us, you just have it.
Yeah.
But we need to stop putting ourselves in this box. Not saying, oh, social media is hell. Get off of social media. Delete your Instagram. Delete that. Don't, we kind of need that.
Right.
Because we're to the point where, truth be told, I don't know how our parents grew up without cell phones, without Facebook, without Instagram, whatever. Because it's so easy to keep in touch with everybody.
It is.
What it's nice to do is you see how everybody is doing. Oh, this person got into this school. Wow, good for them.
Yep.
This person is doing this for work. Didn't expect that from them, but good for them.
Right.
It's easy to keep track, and you can use that as motivation. I might not be close-knit with this person anymore, but they're doing this, and I'm doing this, and at the end of the day, we're going to make it.
Don't use it as competition.
Exactly.
It's motivation.
Exactly. And don't confuse the two, because that's what a lot of us tend to do, is confuse the two. Oh, well, if they've gotten this far, I need to do this to pass them up. It's not about passing them up, because their end goal might be different than yours. Your paths may look similar right now, but they're going to take a left somewhere where you're supposed to keep going straight. Or vice versa.
And you trying to follow their path is only going to hurt you.
It's going to hurt you, right? Not saying that you need to rely on others for your motivation, but everybody finds motivation in so many different ways. Whatever. You find motivation, you find validation in so many different things. What works for you works for you. Do what you need to do. But don't let focusing on getting validation derail you from where you're going. There's not always going to be that thumbs up from your best friend. There's not always going to be somebody there to tell you, okay, keep it trucking, keep it moving. Sometimes you need to give yourself that thumbs up. Sometimes you need to tell yourself to keep it moving.
There it is. You need to be able to listen to yourself. You have to be your biggest motivator.
Yes.
Because, other people are doing this, but if you can't say, look at you, you worked this much instead of this much. You've done this better. You need to be able to tell yourself that. Don't wait for other people to tell you that. Right.
Yes. And it'll mean so much more at the end.
Yep.
When you'll be able to look back upon your personal growth. And you'll be able to realize I was in this hole, but I dug myself out of it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Is owning up to who you are and being comfortable in your own skin enough to do that. I need a cigarette. I'm sorry. I did that. We did that. But I did it.
All right.
Guys, what a conversation.
Thank you guys for pitching in. You guys were
you guys were so helpful. Okay.
Thumbs up to you.
Yes. Keep it moving.
You're doing great.
Yes.
Keep it up.
Yes. There's your validation from me, from Kay. But if you really like today's conversation and you'd like to contribute to it, or if maybe you said, you know what, Kobe, that is BS and this is how it really is, and I'm going to tell you, you can find me on social media.
All right.
Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse. I'm on all the platforms, and it's probably Kobe who else? Except for Snapchat. Is that Kobe524. But at the same time, if you like to have Donovan in our business too, you can find us on social media too.
We can have our own business. We don't have to have Kobe.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Use me to help get your step in, get your foot in the door. But who knows? This could be UND Productions next.
Just use me to figure out what you shouldn't do.
Yeah,
and then go to Kobe. He'll take you to the top.
Yeah. At any given moment, though, if you guys remember last episode, I'm gonna wrap this up really quick.
All right.
You told me that if I start to pass away around you, you're gonna put a gun to my head and pull the trigger.
You're welcome.
Those closest to you are always ready to take your spot.
All right.
Okay? And to end you to get further, you never know who it is, who it could be. Always keep your guard up. All right? But once again, if you like to find the both of us and talk to the both of us, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we're on all of the platforms. If it's a place with a username, that username is _KD Productions _
All right.
But if it's placed with just a name, being Facebook, being YouTube, that is K D Productions. Great conversation.
Beautiful conversation.
And we have a lot of beautiful conversations coming up. I think these next 3 are the most riveting conversations we'll have had compared to previous episodes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm Kobe.
I'm Donovan.
And this was and is the Mature Podcast.